Dear you, war has been with us so long that we often mistake it for destiny. Generation after generation, it recurs like a season. The drought of dialogue, the storm of violence, the slow rebuilding, and then, again, the return of fire. For many, war has become the default setting of history, the grim assumption beneath politics, borders, even identity itself. But what if that assumption could be rewritten? What if war was not inevitable, but a habit we can outgrow? This is the question we must carry now. Because AI, for all its risks, opens a door. Not only to see war more clearly, not only to intervene with more wisdom, not only to mediate where humans falter, but to imagine a world where the very pattern of war loosens its grip. Beyond the default, beyond the reflex, beyond the ancient story that says, "This is just who we are." So let us imagine. Not utopia, not fantasy, but futures built patiently, like gardens. Imagine cultures where conflict resolution is faster than escalation, because the tools of foresight and empathy are woven into everyday life. Before a rumor hardens into hatred, it is caught and softened. Before humiliation sparks into violence, it is met with recognition. The speed of peace surpasses the speed of war. Imagine identities that expand rather than contract. For centuries, identities have been sharpened in opposition. We are not them. But AI can help us see how interconnected we already are. Our economies, our climates, our stories, our very nervous systems. The mirror of data reveals not only our divisions but our shared breadth. And when identity is rooted not in exclusion but in interdependence, it widens. I am us becomes as natural as I am me. Imagine technology not as a weapon, but as an amplifier of our capacity to choose peace. Systems that highlight common ground in real time. Platforms that prioritize understanding over outrage. Algorithms designed not to feed fear, but to nurture trust. Fragile, yes. Imperfect, certainly. But possible if we design them with this purpose at heart. This does not mean the end of conflict. Disagreement will remain. Frustration will remain. But conflict need not mean violence. Just as storms need not mean destruction if we learn to prepare, conflict need not mean war if we learn to meet it differently. The cultural default can shift, from fighting to negotiating, from humiliation to recognition, from domination to coexistence. The work is patient. It is not achieved by one breakthrough or one treaty. It is achieved by countless small redesigns, repeated over generations, until the habit of war no longer feels natural. Think of it like language. Once, slavery was spoken of as normal. Once, the subjugation of women was assumed. Once, colonial domination was justified as destiny. But language changed, consciousness shifted, defaults broke. So too with war. What feels immovable today may be unthinkable tomorrow. Here lies AI's truest potential, not as savior but as companion in the slow redesign of the game. A mirror when we forget ourselves. A strategist when we risk blindness. A bridge when we lose trust. And beyond all of that, a partner in remembering that peace is not the absence of war, but the presence of something richer. Dignity, justice, flourishing, coexistence. And so I leave you with this question. What is the cultural default you are helping to create? In your conversations, in your communities, in the way you tell history to the next generation, are you rehearsing the inevitability of war or rehearsing the possibility of peace? Because every story, every system, every silence participates in shaping the default. War has been the teacher of humanity for millennia. Perhaps now it is time for a new teacher. Perhaps now it is time to graduate. Until next time, may you refuse the inevitability of violence. May you plant the seeds of a different default. And may you live as if peace is not only possible, but already becoming.